Okay, Michael, we're on to video 4. What happened was during video 3 I got a phone call on my iPhone. So anyways, alright, let's continue. There's this piece of trim wood that slides back and forth. See that? And basically what's going to happen is when you get your jukebox, your power cord is going to be tucked in the back here. You see that? And this piece of wood's going to be over. Obviously the back doors are going to be on. So the first thing you're going to do is unwrap your jukebox, and you're going to inspect it for physical damage. And then once they've leaved and you've paid them and signed that you paid them and you got the receipt for the shipping, and you unwrap it and you get ready to start setting up your jukebox, the first thing you're going to do is take off the upper back door and then the lower back door. You have to take off the upper back door to get to the lower door. Then what you'll do is you'll come over here and slide this piece of wood out and fish your power cord out. Okay? You'll fish it out, and then you'll put it inside this groove here, and then you'll slide this piece of wood over. And what that allows you to do is protects the cord, and it also gives you this groove here, you can see, to put your lower back door on. Alright, so let's talk about your jukebox on the lower part here. This is your amplifier down here. And we're going to go over some things here. The first knob you see is your volume control right here. This spins left and right. The next knob is the setting for like wattages. Don't change this. This is set up for the amplifier for the way we redid the amp. So it's a perfect setting. There's no reason to change the second button. The third button right here is your cancel button. If you push this in and hold it for a second, it'll cancel the current record. And then the last button is your on-off toggle switch, on and off. So basically the only buttons you'll be using down here is, obviously, you're going to be using the volume, and you're going to be using the cancel switch, and you're going to be using this button to turn on and off. Now I recommend that maybe you get a surge protector and plug the jukebox in to the surge line, and then that way you don't have to keep reaching around to turn your jukebox on. You could just push the little button on the surge protector power strip, and that'll turn your jukebox on and off. Okay, now let's talk about your amplifier. Your amplifier has some adjustments that you can do. Number one, when you do get your jukebox, you might want to gently reach in and just gently make sure each tube is snug, so nothing came loose. You can just gently just push on each one and make sure they're in their socket. Okay? Now, on the top of the amplifier, there's an adjustment here. You can see where it says bass right here. There's 4 settings, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have it on 2, and I have your treble on 4. Okay? So this is a 2-channel amplifier. So you've got there. And then down in here, you have to sort of get down here to see it. And I'm going to get in here. Sorry for the shakiness of the video. But these black, as you can see, these black right here, this one right here is your bass. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we got it on 2. This is your bass right here, and it says bass behind the switch. Here, you can see the S. And this is your treble. See the E here? And this has 4 selections. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we basically got it set the same down here as we do up above. And then below that is your balance. Let me move some wires out of the way. You can see that. And there's A and B side, and then you want it right in the middle, which would be right there. So you don't see how that's sitting right there? So you don't want it like all the way this way or all the way that way. You want it right in the middle, just like that. Okay, so then, like I said, you have these other tubes here. You sort of got to lay on the floor, but I just typically I tell my customers that when you get the jukebox, just when you see the tubes down here, if you can just gently push on them, just make sure they're snug, that nothing's come, you know, that's out of the socket, because obviously we're going to be turning it on. These are your wires for your speakers. They hook in here and here, and those are all hooked up. So really there's not much you need to do with the amplifier, except, you know, take a look at the tubes, press them in, and if you wanted to get more treble, more bass, you know how to adjust it. But other than that, you're just going to basically adjust the volume and maybe knock a record off and power it up. So that's the deal on that. So this is your amp. Your selector unit's over here, right here. This is like your power supply over here, and your coin unit is over here. So let's stand up here so you can get a better view. Again, power supply, coin unit, selector unit on the floor, and then on the right wall is the amplifier with more power. Okay, now here's the thing I'm going to tell you that's important. Underneath here you can see there's these wing nut bolts. You see how these are loose? Okay? What happens is this tray is supposed to bounce. You see how that's got play right there? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 4 bolts, there's 2 on each side, and I'm going to tighten this tight for shipment. So when you get this, this is going to be rigid. This is not going to have any play on it. No bounce. Okay? When you get this, you're going to have to loosen these bolts so they're no longer in, so you get the bounce back. There's 2 on each side. You see how there's 1 here and 1 over there that you have to reach in to grab. And then over here, same thing. Let's see if I can show them to you. There's 1. Okay, there they are. Right above the amplifier. See the amp? The top part right there. Okay, you see where the adjustment for the volume, I'm sorry, for the treble and the bass. If you look immediately above that, again, this will be tightened all the way. These 2 bolts, they'll be tightened, and those will have no play. So when you first get your jukebox, okay, and you take the back doors off, this back door and the lower door, you're going to have to get down on the floor, and you're going to have to loosen these 4 bolts. 1, 2, and there's 2 over here. 3, 4. And so they're loose, so they're hanging down, so they're not connecting. As you can see, there's little springs in here. See those springs? That gives it its fluctuation. You want it to bounce. Alright, let's go up here to the turntable. Okay, we have 2 new belts here. It is possible for one of these belts maybe to slide off this wheel here. If it does, if one of these belts slide off, just if it malfunction, check right here first and just lift the belt back onto the idler wheel here. Okay, this spins it. This is your motor right here. See this black thing with the numbers on it? There's a little tube up here. You see that tube? Right there. It's copper. Okay? That's a part that you can put some 3-in-1 oil in there, maybe once every 3 months, 4 or 5 drops, and that oils your motor. So make sure you do that. I recommend Remington gun oil. You can pick it up at Walmart in the where they sell ammunition. It comes in a little tube, and you can just get one of those little swizzle sticks. Don't use WD-40. You got to use oil. So that's how you oil the motor, and that's the belt system here. If one of these belts comes off, just slide it on. It's a double belt system. So that's it. That's how you set up your jukebox, Michael. You're going to take the back 2 doors off. You're going to get down, and you're going to loosen the 4 wing nut bolts so they're totally not connected anymore. And you're going to make sure all the tubes are snug. You're going to fish the wire through the back. And then you're going to put your back doors back on, which we already went over. So the only other thing is let's turn this sideways. We did put your coin door back on. We have keys for it, but there's nothing that goes in there. There's no coins or anything. But just so you know, we have the coin door on. It functions, and you have keys. But remember, it didn't come with coin gear anyways. So that's it. So I'm going to shoot another video showing you how nice it plays, that we solved the little amplifier problem. And your jukebox is ready to ship. We have your back doors here. We showed you how to put those on. So, alright Michael, I hope you enjoy your jukebox. We have your title strip holder here. And I want to thank you for being patient with me, and I hope these videos are helpful when you get your jukeboxes, sort of knowing what to do and that sort of thing. So thanks a lot, Michael. I appreciate you buying the jukebox, and I look forward to you getting it and many years of enjoyment. Thanks for your time.